What's the weird food that your family ate growing up that you didn't realize was really weird until you got older? I'll go first. My dad straight up made peas and mayonnaise as a dinner side all the time, and we loved it. Cold peas, mayonnaise, and sugar mix. You're welcome. What's the weird food that your family ate growing up that you didn't realize was
So my mom always made us meat pie when we needed a simple and easy dinner. And I never knew it was disgusting until I started telling people I had meat pie. And they're like, meat pie? Oh, sounds disgusting. So I'm going to give y'all the recipe and I'm going to tell you it's so good. So all you need is a pie crust, 1.5 pounds of beef, cottage cheese, an egg, Parmesan cheese, onion, and a pie pan. Y'all, this is so good. You don't know what you're missing. Mmm. 10 out of 10.
What's the weird food that your family ate growing up?
Damn if I know soup. And let me tell you why it's called damn if I know soup. One day, a long time ago, my grandma had a pot on the stove. And she asked my cousin came in. He was like, hey, babe, so what that is? And my grandma was like, damn if I know. So that's why we call it damn if I know soup. My grandma would literally take everything out the refrigerator, clean the refrigerator, and just throw it in a big ass pot and make some cornbread. And we would eat it. But that shit was banging. I'm gonna tell you, that shit was so banging that, like, I've tried to make it fresh and buy ingredients. You can't. It gotta have a 2-week-old hot dog floating in it. That's where the flavor comes. Shit, you know some of that stuff is probably spoiled as hell. We ate it, we lived. I guess that was called survival. But yeah, damn if I know soup. I didn't realize that everybody didn't put a multiplicity of old food in the refrigerator together and eat it. So yeah.
What's the weird food that your family ate growing up that
So for spaghetti night growing up, we wouldn't just have like noodles and red sauce. My mom would also make the undersauce, which was she'd put some butter in a pan, then some onions, jalapenos, garlic, let that kind of mix, and then throw in some butter and then put a little bit of cheese in there. It would make this really liquidy, cheesy, spicy sauce. And she would put that on the bottom of the plate, then put noodles, then put the red sauce. Then she would sprinkle it with Parmesan cheese. I honestly thought for a really long time that everybody had two like sauces with spaghetti. It wasn't until like I got older and like went to Olive Garden and stuff, and it was like you either got a white sauce or a red sauce. I was like, why can't you do both? Like nobody does that. I never said that out loud, but yeah. I haven't had that in a long time. I think I might remake that dinner one night. It was like the best. I would also eat just the sauce with the noodles. Sometimes I wouldn't do the red sauce. So it was basically like queso and noodles.
What's the weird food that your family ate growing up that you didn't realize was really weird?
Okay, my mother used to make this dish and she called it President Salad. What it was spaghetti noodles, no sauce, cold. Lettuce on top of the spaghetti noodles, chicken and croutons and cheese on top of that. The chicken had to be left over from the day before when we cooked out. And then we put French dressing on top. President salad. We ate that all the time in the summer growing up. And my mom used to say, this is what presidents eat. Mom, seriously, what the
What's the weird food that your family ate growing up that you didn't realize was really weird?
So my mom is an immigrant from Greece, and when she was learning English, some things just didn't translate over well. So the way it was explained to her, she thought, I guess she learned like when she asked what ketchup was, people said it was like a tomato sauce or maybe, made from tomatoes. So she interpreted that as tomato sauce. And for that reason, we grew up having spaghetti with ketchup on top, which I never knew was weird until I was like older, like in high school. And I went to a diner with my friends and I ordered spaghetti and I asked them to bring out ketchup. And the waiter or waitress like asked me why I wanted ketchup, and I said like for the spaghetti, and everyone I was with was completely disgusted. But if you go to my brother's house to this day, he serves ketchup with his spaghetti.
That your family ate growing up that you didn't realize was really weird?
I have one for this. When I was a kid, my mother would make a pot roast every Sunday morning, and my parents liked their meat really well cooked. So if there were leftovers from the pot roast, they didn't necessarily reheat very well. So we were not about to waste good food. So the way that my parents got around that is they would take the leftovers and they would put them into the food processor, chunk them up into little bitty pieces, and then they would mix it with Miracle Whip and pickle relish, and we would eat it on bread, and they called it beef salad. And I didn't think it was that strange because my grandparents did exactly the same thing, only they would use hot dogs instead of beef, and they called it ham salad, and that's not even ham. So I just assumed there was an entire genre of like Miracle Whip meat spreads that people just ate, and I didn't think it was odd until I was 36 or 37 years old, and we went to visit my parents, and I'm standing in my parents' kitchen with my husband, and my mother throws a leftover pot roast in the food processor, and I look sideways, and my husband's like, and I went, oh my God, it's weird. Beef salad is weird.
What's the weird food that your family ate growing up that you didn't realize was really weird?
Scrapple. It's a Maryland, Delaware, Pennsylvania thing. They call it scrapple because it's made from pig scraps. It's worse than a hot dog. Look at the label. Pig lips, pig heart, pig anus. Add some salt and spices, and there you have it. It's a grayish brown loaf that you fry up and serve for breakfast. But it's banging.
What's the weird food that your family ate growing up that you didn't realize was really
Oh my God, I had to redo this one because I said that the weird food we ate was not the weird food. I didn't eat a peanut butter and mayo sandwich. We had a mayo and banana sandwich. Because most people have peanut butter and banana, which is also a really delicious sandwich. I'm not saying it's not. But mayo and banana really doesn't go together, I don't think, with bread unless like you've been eating it since you were like a small child, which I have been. And I'll still eat it to this day. And it is disgusting. It disgusts me, but it's delicious.
What's the weird food that your family ate growing up that you didn't realize was really weird?
My family would make what we called tag pears. And they were basically the canned pears that you would get. We'd strain out the juice and save it in a bowl. And then we would take either the halves or the wholes, not the wholes, the halves or the quarters of the pears, and we roll them in graham cracker, and then we would take a little bit of the juice that was left over, mix it with a little bit of mayonnaise, pour that on top of the pears, and then we would put shredded cheddar cheese all over the top of that, and we would have that as a side for like a roast or something like that. We would eat it all the time. We called it tag pears because my great grandma used to make it all the time, and that was just her thing. We would ask for it for Christmas and for birthdays and all that stuff because they were just so good. But everyone thinks that we're weird because of that.
What's the weird food that your family ate growing up that you didn't realize was really weird?
I'll take the win. It's raw ground beef cooked in lime juice with chile serrano, cebolla, cilantro, aguacate, tomate, and some garlic powder on a tostada.